Barnaby's Big Bubble Giggles. Inside the cozy house on Willow Lane, Penny and Pip were playing hide and seek. It was a rainy Tuesday, the perfect day for indoor fun. Penny looked under the rug and behind the sofa. "I see you, Barnaby," she giggled. Barnaby, their small green dragon, was trying to hide behind a curtain, but his long, pointy tail was poking out for everyone to see. Pip crept up behind Barnaby and gave his tummy a playful tickle. "Gotcha!" Pip cried. Barnaby let out a little snort. Dragons usually breathe fire when they are excited, but Barnaby was different. His belly began to wobble like a bowl of jelly. "He's got the giggles!" Pip shouted, leaning in for more tickles. Barnaby's eyes went wide and his nose began to twitch. He, chew! A massive sneeze exploded from his snout, but instead of a flame, a giant, shimmering purple bubble floated out. It was as big as a beach ball. Penny's jaw dropped. "That's not fire," she whispered, watching the bubble drift toward the ceiling. "Tell him another joke, Pip," Penny laughed. Pip made his silliest face and wobbled his ears with his hands. "What do you call a dragon who is good at chores?" Pip asked. "A hearth clerk." Barnaby didn't just giggle, he roared with laughter. His wings flapped and his scales rattled. He was ready for a giant, bubbly explosion. "Achoo! Achoo! Achoo!" Barnaby sneezed 100 times. Red bubbles, blue bubbles, and bright yellow bubbles filled the living room. They weren't like normal bubbles that pop right away. These were bouncy. Pip tried to grab a green one, but it boinged right off his hands. Penny hopped up and down trying to catch a rainbow bubble. A bright pink bubble landed right on top of Penny's head. It didn't pop, it just sat there like a big, squishy hat. Barnaby looked at her and let out a soft woof of delight. He was very proud of his new trick. Penny looked in the mirror and posed. "I'm the Bubble Queen," she declared, while Barnaby wagged his tail happily. Pip found a bubble so big he could almost sit on it. He gave it a gentle push, and it carried him a few inches off the floor. "Look at me, Barnaby! I'm flying!" Barnaby nudged the bubble with his snout, guiding Pip across the rug. The dragon's golden eyes sparkled with joy as he watched his friend float through the air. Soon, the house was a total bubble-tropolis. Penny and Pip had to wade through the air to get to the hallway. "The bubbles are everywhere!" Pip yelled, his voice sounding extra echoey inside a blue bubble. They couldn't see the floor or the chairs. It was a sea of colorful, wobbly spheres that reached all the way to their waists. Just then, their mom, Rhea, walked through the front door. She stopped dead in her tracks as a giant orange bubble bounced off her nose. Barnaby looked up at her, his cheeks turning a rosy pink. He gave a tiny, shy giggle, and a single, tiny silver bubble popped out. Rhea blinked, then reached out to touch the floating orb. "Well," Rhea laughed, "I suppose this is one way to get the house cleaned." Penny and Pip grabbed their toy wands and started a pop-a-thon. Every time a bubble popped, it released a tiny puff of sweet-smelling glitter. They spent the whole afternoon popping and dancing while Barnaby curled up for a nap, dreaming of his next big giggle.